Well, hello and welcome back to Mama Patschifig. It's already Friday and I committed to do weekly updates. I have no idea where this week flew by. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, here we are. I'm in my office. I love being in my office. It's so cozy. It's actually in a co-working space, but yeah. And yeah, there's good coffee. It's quiet. So I really like being here. I was looking through some footage from our recent trip to Albania, and I thought I could share a little bit about that with you. So in the end of last month, it was my birthday, and I've decided that I'm gonna give myself a gift, and I've booked a surprise trip for my family to a surprise destination. And what I did is that I've put into Skyscanner explore anywhere within Europe, and I've told myself that I'm going to book the first destination that is showing up, which is new to all of us, so where neither of us has been before. And it was actually really cool because the first destination on the list that showed up was Tirana in Albania, actually Albania's capital. And I second guessed my commitment, as if you want, because the second destination was London. And I've been to London a few times, but the rest of my family hasn't, and it's actually quite on top of my husband's bucket list. We don't really have bucket lists, but yeah, he really would like to visit London. He has never been to London. So I kind of second guessed whether I should do London but then I was like, no, Tirana is a destination which otherwise would have not kind of appeared, on my wish list, and I thought that's kind of cool. And I also looked up the weather, which is kind of usual around that time or common, and it felt that it could be a little bit spring-like already, at least along the coast of Albania and the capital Tirana. If you're going further inwards, basically there is a lot of mountains in Albania as well, and there obviously in the end of Feb, beginning of March, you can get snow and everything. But at the coast, usually it's milder. So yeah, I did that. I booked the trip, I booked an accommodation, and I managed to keep it a secret. I did tell them that we were going on a trip, and I've asked my partner to take off a couple of days from work, and yeah, then we headed out. We actually first headed to Bergamo. That's a city in the north of Italy, and we have now flown a couple of times from Bergamo because we love Italy, and we tend to combine some sightseeing, shopping, or just going for a meal before the flight, etc. And it's not that much further away than going to Zurich, which would probably be the most logical reason. Also, depending on the destination, it can be quite cheaper. So that has been one of the reasons when we've flown to India to visit my husband's family 1.5 years ago. Yeah. We haven't actually flown a lot in the past 5 years with the kids, but yeah, a couple of times we have flown from Milan or Bergamo. So yeah, we headed towards Bergamo. I made a little quiz where I gave them hints of where we would actually go, and I gave them a map, and later I gave them all the European flags, because I also some of the hints basically included what colors there is in the flag. And yeah, they figured it out at some point where we were going, and it was really cool. They were all pretty excited, and yeah. I've also realized that this type of trips, they have become so easy with the kids. Well, they are used to travel, and they are really good travelers, but it has become way easier as they are getting a little bit older. And Bergamo Airport, I usually book the parking, that long-term parking, which you can do online, and you get a QR code which you can scan. That has worked flawlessly every time I did it, and then there is no need to pay. You basically scan the code, get a ticket, which you again use to leave the airport or the parking when you come back. Shouldn't lose that ticket, that's the only thing. But yeah, and then we were on our way. We checked in a bag that took like really long. I queued for like at least an hour to just drop the bag. We were checked in. Now, that was a little bit of pain, but yeah. Then on the other hand, the Italians are super family friendly, so there is that fast track for families to pass security and passport control. So there we were like super fast. So I guess on average it was okay again, though don't want to complain here. And yeah, Albania, we kind of stuck to the capital of Tirana because the weather was quite rainy and coldish, I would say, for the whole 4 days. So my first idea was that we could probably also go to the coast, because obviously being from a landlocked country, being at the beach is always something we like to do. I mean, I was aware that we couldn't swim but yeah, from experience, the kids really like to just be on the beach and play. We have been last year in spring to Denmark, to the very north of Denmark, and we were in Rimini in autumn, and there the beaches were also closed. No problem for my kids. They spent hour after hour playing in the sand, building castles, building stuff out of the sand, playing with balls and anything else they found. So I first thought that could be a cool thing to just go to the seaside for 2 days or so, which we then ended up not doing. Yeah, and actually it just brings back a memory. 6 years ago on my birthday, we were at the Black Sea in Romania, also in winter, where all the locals, they kind of didn't understand. They were like, what are you doing here in this time of the season? But for us, I have to say, I don't know whether I would enjoy these destinations during high season. I've seen pictures from the Albanian beaches, or also Rimini and Constanta, where we were in Romania. And I think it would be too crowded for me, for my liking. So I way prefer the off-season, even though more things are closed. I don't mind. I like just, walking along the beach and sitting there or playing with the kids. So, yeah. But for this trip, we ended up sticking to the city, and there was really enough to do in the city for a few days. And I'm gonna show you some impressions. That was a little insight to our Albanian adventures. Now we are back in the mountains. And there is a sense of spring in the air, I would say. And until a few days ago I was actually still ready to be in winter mode. But I think now I'm also slowly starting to embrace the spring. Yeah. The snow has receded quite a bit. There's still one stretch to ski down to the village, which they kind of maintain, but otherwise you see the snow line is a little further up here now. And let's see what spring brings. I'm excited. One thought I had when I was reflecting about our weekend was that when things get a little bit stressful, or when I'm tired or overwhelmed, which happens rather frequently, the first thing which is going out of the window for me is my sense of humor. And I always like to think of myself as being quite cheerful. Don't know whether that's true though. But yeah, I really noticed the very first thing that is going out of the window is my sense of humor. And I don't like that version of myself. When I then kind of hear myself talk or sermon over my children especially, I find myself really annoying. But I can't stop myself. So I'm kind of caught in that spiral, if you want. And I find it very hard to kind of zoom out of it. And I feel very guilty about that afterwards, because it's not really helpful for anyone, even if I'm right. I'm obviously right. But it's not helpful in those moments. But yeah, what I just was thinking about is that I'm trying to also give myself a little bit of grace, because I can't change it anyhow, and just feeling guilty about it doesn't change. I obviously still try to figure out why I end up spiraling in that sense. But yeah, one thing is being tired and overwhelmed, and that I kind of need to try to remove myself of those situations beforehand, which is not always possible, but yeah. But I find it difficult, to have that balance between giving myself grace and still taking responsibility, because especially when I interact with my children, I'm the adult in the room, and it's my responsibility to remain calm and balanced and centered. But it is a challenge sometimes for me. Yeah. It's a little thought I just had whilst sitting here looking over the mountains. And what definitely helps me is to spend a lot of time by myself and just out in nature without doing much, or just walking. And that is kind of giving me a sense of peace. It's quite windy now. I don't even know whether you hear me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you with that for this week. Thanks so much for spending your time with me this week, and I wish you a wonderful week, and I catch you next time. Until then, bye bye.